The UFC is heading to London for UFC Fight Night, Edwards versus Brady. I'm going to give you my picks, predictions, and breakdown from every single fight. Starting from the main event, work my way early into the card as quickly, but as detailed as possible. The bigger fights are going to have longer rants. However, best drop tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe, share this to somebody I know they'll enjoy just like you did. Let's get right into the main event. Edwards versus Brady. Okay, look, on paper, this should be pretty simple in my opinion, but it's tricky. Sean Brady is an absolute unit. I mean, he's huge. Comes forward, overwhelms Leon like we've seen before, and he wins the decision. But Brady isn't below. He's an Usman in the second fight, and Usman was dominating Leon in a horrible way, let's be serious, until he ended up getting too comfortable. He got caught. Leon made him pay for it. My problem with Leon is that he's shown time and time again that he has that quitter in him. And I think he knows it. I think his head coach knows it. As many times as Leon has won, the long winning streaks, as talented as Leon is, and I think he may be the most talented fighter in the UFC, there's not really holes in his skill set. And what I mean is his distance management, his crisp technique, his nasty clinch work, his wrestling. He crumbles time and time again under adversity. And if you're Sean, you want to implement the Bilal Usman 2 game plan, you have to be durable. Sean isn't that durable. He isn't that durable. I think Sean can be winning these rounds, and then there's oohs or moments from Leon's on the feet when he lands something, he'll get Sean's attention. I think if Sean starts right away, and I mean right away, like Bilal did, his chances increase tremendously. Don't give Leon many reads in the first 5 minutes. You grab him, push him back, just get in his face. Don't let him get his range. Make Leon go into the second round second guessing himself. Kind of how Strickland did in the DEP round. He kept telling his coach, I'm trying to get my timing. I'm trying to get my timing. By the time he claimed he got his timing, it was a bit too late. Make him go into rounds not knowing if he truly has his timing, because Leon needs that timing and the rhythm to outpoint these guys like he wants to. Or he's going to have to rely on a big moment late like he did in the Usman 2 fight. I think this was like Usman versus Leon 3, 48-47 either way. I'm going to side with Brady because even though Brady has been hurt and has been TKO'd, he hasn't quit. I've seen it in Leon too many times. Leon has accomplished all that he can in the sport, made so much money, helped this city. And I don't want to sound like this person because it shouldn't be a knock. This is great for him, but I just don't know how hungry he is. I don't want to sound like that, but I don't know how hungry he is. Does he want to climb that mountain again, knowing that he has not only JDM in front of him, but Shavkat as well? And then if Islam moves up, he could be, his title picture is looking a little blurry. I'm riding with the big hungry guy who's looking to impose his will. I'm going to ride with Sean Brady. Moving on. We got Carlos Ulberg versus Jan Blachowicz. Ulberg versus Ozdemir was eye-opening for me. Ulberg slowed down that fight. It was a very competitive fight. His striking didn't seem that dangerous late. He didn't carry much power late either. Carlos is fast, good movement. I don't think he's that defensively sound, though. Jan is fundamentals. You look up the word fundamentals, a picture of Jan is right there. Tight guard, super hard to hit, checks every kick like he has auto block on. Solid fundamentals, tight Polish power, nasty, undetectable blast calf kicks. Can wrestle, has amazing control on top. Jan is also a guy who's going to take the path of least resistance every single fight. I think this fight will be competitive, and as the fight goes on, the tides could shift towards the crafty vet. The fight will be competitive. The question is, how does the long layoff and the age affect Blachowicz? We truly don't know until he's in the cage. I hate using unknowns to sway my picks. It's too easy for me to say he's old and hasn't fought in a while, so he loses. A lot of times it's deeper than that. I think Jan can slow this fight down, hurt Carlos's mobility. I see clinch situations. I see grappling being mixed in. If I know Jan is the same fighter that fought Poatan, this is an easy pick, and I easily pick Jan, but I don't know that. I think this goes to decision, but I'm rolling with Jan by decision. Look, bro. I said I'll never pick Kevin Holland again, and I stand by that. This is a fight that he 100% should win. He's back down to 170. He's faster. Big power in the hands. Accurate strikes. Decent takedown defense. Higher volume. Gunnar isn't a guy that's going to get in his face and make things too uncomfortable for him. Kevin should, in all honesty, finish Gunnar Nelson. But with that being said, give me Gunnar Nelson by submission. I'm done. I'm done with that. Meatball Molly versus Alexa. I don't know. Be honest. I don't know. This girl's good, though. Meatball, she's kind of bad. Like, look, she comes forward. She imposes her will. She scraps. She does not quit. There's no quitter in Meatball at all. And that makes all of her fights fun. Not a lot of power, but high volume boxing in the pocket, trying to make every fight a dog fight because she is a dog and there's not a lot of them in the women's division. And that leads to really good looking performances or her looking a little dumb. She has great cardio as well. I love the shape that she came in her last fight. Alexia's a banger too, though. She lets him loose. She comes forward without giving a fuck. Good power. Will occasionally try to take her opponent down, and she's pretty good at that. Really good takedowns. She's accurate with her takedowns. She times them very well. She's very underrated on the ground. She has a lot of subs on her record, so you can kind of see that. But she really strikes, though. But her takedowns are very, very efficient. Her grappling is good. But she likes to bang it out. Both women stay busy. Both want to bang no matter what. Alexia has more power. But I think Molly could dog this one out. I want to say Molly takes advantage of the UFC debut, brings her into deep waters on home soil. But I've seen Molly lose to wrestling, bruh. So I'm rolling with Alexia. Now we got Jordan Vucenic versus Chris Duncan. I'm rolling with Jordan Vucenic. I think Chris Duncan is too reliant on big moments, while Jordan has really good striking, improving in every single fight. His fighting career is super young. Good cardio on a full camp. Nasty BJJ has power in the hands. Looked really good against Kutateladze in his debut. And I think the UFC is doing the right thing by not throwing him too far in the deep end because lightweight runs deep. Good, fun, but most importantly, a favorable matchup. I don't know about minus 350, but I like Vucenic. I'm going to say decision because Duncan has good recovery from getting hurt, but he's not as durable as Vucenic, and he does get hurt. And I think there's a chance that he can get tagged and Jordan snatches his neck. I'm rolling with Jordan Vucenic. Now we got a really good fight. My pick for fight of the night. Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charriere. Is it Charriere or Charriere? I want to say Charriere, but A is I-E-R, and there's an E at the end of that I-E-R. Anyways, I think these fighters are very similar. Both have good wrestling in the back pocket, high volume striking. The Shepe performance that Morgan had really opened my eyes, though. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know I'm very high on Shepe. Kickboxing world champion, BJJ world champion, former D1, maybe D2, wrestler in his earlier days, a marauder, comes forward, not giving a fuck, granite chin, wants to impose his will. I love people who impose their will. And Morgan was in there showing his ability to just have a dog fight. Nathaniel Wood is a dog, but less durable of the two. I think Morgan has more pop, a bit more speed as well. I see a decision, but I think Morgan has the better moments, and I think this fight predominantly stays standing where Morgan will shine. I'm riding with Morgan. Now, Jai Herbert versus Chris Padilla. Jai Herbert was pretty impressive in his last performance. He turned that volume up, and it really helped his game because while being a distance maxer in his earlier days, his volume would be so low that he would still be outlanded. And the uptake in his volume is good for him. I see a hold, though, and that's the wrestling. Taco has nasty takedowns, fast and explosive. And is dangerous on the feet as well with his speed and explosiveness. He's durable, high volume, come forward, and I think he'll cut off the cage on Jai Herbert. I think the striking will be close and entertaining, but I think Chris is going to land the better shots, the more valuable shots. And I think he's going to be able to get in on Jai's hips and work. I like his elbows as well. I'm rolling with the dog. I'm rolling with Chris Taco Padilla. Now we got, is it Loughran or Lonier? Kavanagh versus my boy. Shoot the boxes on Felipe dos Santos. Two young bucks. Bias pick might be coming here. I'm fully rooting for Felipe dos Santos. So take what I say with a grain of salt, maybe. In reality, he comes forward with 100% offense, bad striking defense. The problem is he doesn't have that big power that a lot of the shoot-the-box guys have. And he can also be taken down. His BJJ isn't that ridiculous. While both are young, I feel as if these shoot-the-box fighters have to grow into their skills and match it with their prime to be successful. These guys are talented, but they have immaturities in their style. It took Charles Oliveira a while to grow into his skill set. And even now, he still shows some immaturities in his game to this day. He could be a bit too reckless. But that's what comes with being a shoot-to-box fighter. I hope Felipe can grow before he gets cut. Like, I don't want him to get cut from the promotion. Because losses on losses on losses don't really keep you around. I like his raw skills and talent. But I don't think it's put together enough in this matchup. Because Kavanagh has some nice speed. Kavanagh has shown to be a decent hammer, though. But hasn't really been a nail. We don't know what he looks like when Felipe's marching forward, getting in his face with volume. Felipe's cardio isn't as good, though, to fight that style that he likes to fight. And I'm not really a believer in his power just yet. Kavanagh might be able to just counter, circle, and pivot towards the center. Gun to my head, I'm picking Kavanagh. Damn. Moving on, we got Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin. I like Tybura to get it done here. I'm going to be honest. I think you have to crack or be dominant on the ground to beat Tybura. Mick Parkin is very well-rounded, but not dominant in any areas. Not dangerous in any areas. Very little power as far as the heavyweight division goes. Not fast. Decently low volume as well. He just KO'd Lucas Brzezinski, but joined the club. I think Tybura builds into this fight and starts to wear down Parkin. I think the fight hits the mat in the second round, and I think he starts to melt Mick. I like Tybura here, and I think I'm going to let the odds continue to widen and then play something small on Tybura money line. Like, I'm not really worried about the fanfare and the England background because Mick isn't that exciting of a fighter. Like, he isn't exciting at all. And I don't expect an exciting fight unless Tybura's on top landing elbows. I think Tybura's definitely going to do more damage in this fight. I'm going to roll with Tybura, and I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to roll with my gut on that one. I could look stupid there, though. We got CLD versus Andre Pulyaev. This seems like a setup to help CLD bounce back from his last performance. A Russian guy with a pretty good record and is making his debut. Aside from the region, Pulyaev is predominantly a striker, though. Much slower, less dangerous, less volume. No shame in losing RoboCop if you're CLD. He's a unit. He's a marauder. What CLD is facing this weekend is a guy who's going to come forward without giving a fuck. A guy who isn't physically imposing with his grappling and huge power in his hands. He's fighting a guy who's well-rounded, but not too dangerous. CLD has much more experience. May even be the better grappler here. I think he is the better grappler here. And is a really crisp, technical, faster striker. He should be better everywhere. I'm rolling with the odds makers this time. I don't think they got it wrong. I think he's a good parlay piece to help you get to even money. Moving on, we got Mama B versus Puja Tomar. Hands are going to be thrown, man. If I have to go the distance, it's probably fucking minus 600. Mama B comes forward with pressure. And let whatever happens, happens. Not great takedown defense unless she's off. And she's useless off of her back. Tomar's a striker as well. Useless off of her back as well. So we're probably going to have a stand-up fight for 15. Thought Tomar would be high-paced, throwing big bombs. But in her last fight, she was very conservative. And I don't think conservative beats Mama B. So I'm going to roll with Mama B. Moving on. We got Loughran versus Nathan Fletcher. Loughran's a guy who his UFC performance have not backed up his talk. He's well-rounded, though. Comes forward in a straight line, which isn't always good. Tries to impose his will. Powerful punches and occasional wrestling. But he's far too hesitant. His straight line movement leaves him prone to run into shots. Not much head movement as well. And if you're putting something in his face, he'll struggle to get past it. A simple jab can keep him at range and hesitant to open up on his combinations because he's going to come forward. He's going to keep his head on a straight line, so the jab's going to be there all night. And he struggles to get past the jab. I think Nathan Fletcher here, he's faster. They could be able to use his low kicks and his jab to keep Loughran at bay. He has a good chin. Pretty good grappling as well. Wrestling kind of cancels out, but Nathan by far has the better BJJ if you ask me. Loughran just doesn't do enough, which is a shame because he has good skills. And unlike the Parkin fight, I think I can see the crowd erupting every time Nathan has a bit of success. Judges aren't supposed to listen to crowds, but it's bullshit if you don't think they do. I think Nathan wins. We sped through this. Now the first fight of the night, Kutateladze versus Fernandes. Really good way to start the card off. If Gram stays on the feet for too long, he's going to be helping Fernandes in a big way. Although he's well-rounded, good striking, and wrestling, he's not that durable. Can't take much punishment. He's a good hammer, but he's a bad nail. How about that? Jordan Vucenic was lighting him up on the feet. Fernandes is a good striker, bro. Fun and loose, with power to really hurt his opponent. Takedown defense that holds up very well, so the takedowns aren't going to come easy. No bets as of now, but I'm leaning Fernandes. I may play Fernandes inside the distance, no action, or plus 3.5, because I think Fernandes does land with power, and I think Gram's there to be hit, and it doesn't take much to have a big moment against Kutateladze. Even though Kutateladze, he's really good. It's just the durability. Putting it all together, getting too comfortable on the feet, not shooting earlier, it could get him into trouble. I'm leaning Fernandes, and I'm leaning Fernandes. I think... Fuck it, I'm picking underdog. I'm picking Fernandes. That's been it. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with somebody I know they'll enjoy just like you did. I feel like this was pretty quick. Let me know if you like the quick style. Bets drop tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Don't be stingy, share me. Don't be silly, jump the gilly. You ain't got to go home. You got to get up out of here, man. Yeet.